Well, for the last 4 weeks, we have worked very feverishly to get this old pile of garbage ready for Hot Rod Power Tour. Looks like goal accomplished. We're at least leaving for it. Oh yeah, whether or not we make it is yet to be seen. I am bringing half my shop, bunch of tools and those two things right there. Hopefully I don't need any of them, but let us get on the road. Stopped here just before we get on the interstate to fill up. The gas gauge does not work. No, I put 5 gallons in it the other day. She went way past full. So we can't rely on that. No. What we'll do, this is a 20-gallon tank. We'll fill her up. We'll drive 100 miles, check our mileage, and then that way we know how far we can go before we have to stop and look again. Yeah. We are going to interstate. That's awesome. There's no official route for getting there because everybody's coming from different directions. But yeah, we're going to interstate, and I can already tell you, as far as the ride and all, this is going to be like a Cadillac compared to Silver Bullet last trip it took. Oh yeah. Anyways, let's hit the road. Well, I've been on the interstate maybe 5 miles, and she's looking pretty dark. Oh yeah. I just looked at the radar. We're fixing to hit a great big old storm coming through. I have no windshield wipers. No. I did put Rain-X on it though, so maybe that'll be good enough. Good news, I'm cruising 75 and 80 miles an hour like it ain't nothing. Oh yeah. And here comes the rain. Yep, coming in blood. I gotta get pulled over somewhere. Roll that passenger side window. It's soaked in everything in here. These interstates, the right lane, oh my goodness, they're definitely rough. Rain-X is doing pretty good though. I can see pretty decent. Great way to start the trip, I guess. MLS is going to follow me everywhere I go. Go on up. Well, we've been about 110 miles, and I stopped at exit 14, I think, on I-69. It says Zion in Henderson, Kentucky. Put 7.5 gallons in it, did the math. We've been 110 miles, about 14.5 miles a gallon. I can handle that. We do have a new noise though, but only at interstate speeds. Anything below 60 or so, it don't really do it. When you let off the gas, but not all the way, when you're just coasting but you're still on the gas, it's a pretty loud screeching sound. I sort of think it may be the what do you call that, slip yoke on the bushing in the tail shaft transmission. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, but if we can get there, you know, the rest of the way is not interstate driving, so we'll probably be good on that, or just don't coast. The rear end noise, it may be just a tad louder, but I think we're going to be okay on that. Fingers crossed anyways. Let's get back on the road. I got a little under 3 hours to go, 186 miles I think is what it says. Let us hit the road. take about 4.5 hours. Just got all my credentials and goodie bag and all that stuff. I didn't know how to get into the place. They had the main entrance blocked off. So I come down here to an entrance and he wouldn't let me in. Went down to another, she wasn't gonna let me in. Well, I got a little upset. So she finally let me in. Anyway, we're here and it's just about time to shut it down. Yeah. Hopefully tomorrow I can get an earlier start. We get here. Actually, what I'm planning on doing is going about halfway, get a hotel. That's what I did last year, and that's what I plan on doing this year. So, anyways, I'll talk to y'all when I get to the hotel, I reckon. Well, I made it to Lebanon, Indiana after stopping there in Indianapolis and ate supper with the inevitable Jim and Dalton from Pole Barn Garage and another fella, I don't remember his name, but I don't think he had a YouTube channel. Anyway, we ate at the Ford something or another. Pretty good food. Then I decided to head on towards the next stop, Joliet, Illinois. Well, I stopped here in Lebanon, Indiana. If I have a hotel room, because I'm dead. I'm thinking this truck has wore me out last week. But we have another issue now. Stopping at every stop sign. It's sort of like what's that truck called? Silver Bullet. You know how it would die every time I hit a red light? Well, this is doing the same thing. But it acts like it's electrical. So I'm gonna nose around a little bit. Maybe we got a loose wire, loose ground or something. See what I can figure out. And I will let you know in a little while if I find anything. Well, I think I figured out what's wrong with this old jalopy. It was electrical. Yep. I fired it up, went to wiggling wires on the dash, ignition switch, popped the hood, wiggled wires all everywhere, and it never cut off. Well, I'll show you the car in a minute, but one of my subscribers is staying here too, and he was over here while I was wiggling wires. He said, "Did you wiggle the distributor wires?" I said, "No, sir. Never even thought about it." I'm tired, fellas. My brain ain't working. Anyway. I wiggled the distributor wires, it arced, and it cut off. That harness came with that distributor, and it's a pigtail for a tack. Well, I don't have a tack on it, and the very end of that wire, was naked. Well, it grounded out and killed the motor. So I put some tape on that, and that fixed that. Anyway, let me show you the car. This fella's name's Chad, too, the subscriber I met here. Let me show you the car that they drove here. There you go, fellas. That is that's one slick pink Cadillac. It sure is. It's been chopped, and it used to be a 4-door, now it's a 2-door. But yeah, I bet it's got 300 pounds of Bondo. He said the door's still here. They just filled in that whole window area. Yeah, got some fuzzy dash stuff going on. That's pretty wild right there. Anyways, it's late. We've been standing out here talking 3 or 4 hours. Several of us that's on the power tour. I think there's a bunch staying at a hotel over there too. Anyways, had a pretty good time. I'm tired, fellas. I'm going in the hotel here. I gotta get some sleep. I will see y'all tomorrow. We're headed to Joliet, Illinois. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. That old hunk of junk. It looks pretty sharp slammed on the ground. Yep. Anyways, it is Tuesday morning. Fixing to head to Joliet, Illinois. I think it's Route 66, however you say it, fellas. Route 66 Dragway, I think is where we're going. I'm just checking my Earls. We're a little low, I think. We're sort of on a little downhill slope here. That may be part of the issue, but I didn't bring any with me, so it don't matter. There's an O'Reilly's right down here somewhere. And a McDonald's, that's where I'm headed. As soon as I get done with all that, well, we'll get on the road. It's, I don't know, 188 miles, something like that, in 3.5 hours. So, let's get in the old rag and hit the road. that looks like soybeans. It's mostly cornfields, just as far as I can see. I looked on Google Maps and it says Kankakee. I don't know how you say it, fellas. K-N-A-K-A-K-E. Is that Illinois? Is it Indiana? I ain't got a clue. I never know where I'm at. But anyways, been running with this line of cars, not this semi. There's a bunch of cars in front of it. Been running with them for probably a couple of hours. And we've sat in traffic a couple of times for probably 15-20 minutes. That right there, she sits right there no matter what. Yep. So the dual fan setup from Alloy Works, it works pretty awesome. Yep. We'll probably get there in an hour or two. I don't know. We'll get there though, because it ain't like 12:30. Yeah, I ain't running late like I normally do, so that's all good. We'll get there in a little bit. Y'all look who we're parking next to. The old pink Cadillac. What in the world? Well, we have arrived. There's old Jolly Green Giant sitting right there. A pile of rust amongst a lot of very nice cars. Yeah, there's a bunch of cars here. Good gracious. I'm assuming that's where we need to go. About a half a mile walk. Let's just walk down through here and look at some cars. And I don't know if they're doing drag racing, autocross, I don't know. We'll get up here and see here in just a minute. Let's look at some of these cars. That's not a bad idea. If I can find one, I may get it. You can camp in it. That's pretty sharp. That is what you call laying frame. That little feller's on the ground, buddy. I finally made it up here. I walked for probably 20 minutes. Oh yeah, just got my little cards punched for the long haul. I'm walking over here to the staging lanes for the drag strip. Let's see what we got. Fixing to go down the track. Just an assortment of different cars, old and new. Yep, a whole lot of cars here too. My goodness, I do mean a whole lot of cars. One of these years, I'm gonna build me something worthy of going down the track. Might be next year, I don't know. I ain't gonna tell you what it is. I know what it is. I ain't gonna tell you what it is. You just have to wait and see. I'm thirsty. I'm gonna go right here and get me something to drink. I might go watch some drag racing, and then I'd like to go find the dyno and watch that for just a little bit.
The drag strip to go down. It will be closing at 4:30. No more entries or tech at 4:30. So you need to be in the lanes at 4:30 or earlier.
I'm just reminding y'all that I do have a 52. Yep, I think that's what this is going by the grill. I'm just saying, this is a 2-door, mine's a 4-door, but you know, with a little bit of hacking and welding, you can make it whatever you want to. That's a sharp car though. Goodness gracious. I don't know if any of y'all watch Roadkill Garage, and well, it used to be Faster with Finnegan, and then he left. It was turned into Faster with Newbern and Cotton. Well, there's Cotton right there. He bought this. I think Freiberger bought this first on Roadkill or Roadkill Garage, and then I think Cotton bought it from him. But look at what a motor, look at what a blower. Goodness. That little Volkswagen right there. If y'all remember when I went to North Carolina, my brother-in-law bought a 65 or 67 I don't remember. He bought a Cadillac. Well, that's the fella right there. He's riding passenger in that little Volkswagen. That's pretty wild. Got a 572 big block in it. 620 horse, I think. That's crazy. Y'all know I built some pretty rough vehicles. I don't feel so bad now. I don't feel quite as out of place seeing these two right here. This one especially. It looks like it was an old dirt track car. Yeah, that's, man. I believe they're kin to Lockjaw and Jolly Green Giant. Hey, at least they're back on the road. That's pretty sharp. Little S10 over there. I hear it's got a V8, probably LS. Man, that thing sounds good. Looks good. Well, I'm fixing to leave Joliet, Illinois. We are headed to Fort Wayne, Indiana. It don't give the name of a drag strip or whatever. I don't know where we're going. 181 miles. I'm gonna do like I normally do. I'm gonna go that way a couple hours, stop somewhere and get me a hotel. Hopefully I'll run into some more car guys like I did last night. That was pretty fun standing out there talking to them. I've met 4 or 5 of y'all yesterday. 2 of you I just met today. It's pretty neat to get to talk to y'all. The ones that I know watch the channel all the time. Pretty neat. Anyways, let me get in this line. It's probably gonna take 30 minutes to get out here. I'm gonna head down the road and I'll see y'all in a little while. I made it to Hebron, Indiana, or Hebron, however you say it. I ain't no linguist, I don't care. Anyway, I got me a hotel here. I got the old Jolly Green Giant jacked up. The drive shaft is getting a little bit worse. I just want to check it out and see where the slack is. I really think it is the slip yoke in the, what's it called? The tail shaft bushing, tail shaft housing bushing. Anyways, let me get under here and see what I can figure out. I'll see if I can get y'all under here and show you. There's a wee bit of slop in that slip yoke. I don't know if it'll pick up on camera or not. See that moving? I bet when I get home, if I pull that out, there's gonna be evidence of chatter or something on that slip yoke, or see a lot of wear on that bushing. I don't see nothing else. You know, it's a brand new carrier bearing, which that don't mean nothing. You know, brand new parts go bad, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. But we tell you this, the old muffler, she's taking a beating. Looks pretty rough. I come across some railroad tracks a while ago. They snuck up on me. Normally I'll hit the up button on my air and raise it up. Well, I couldn't get to it in time, and the truck literally left the ground. Back tires left the ground, and tail end went flying around a little bit, and I was a wee bit concerned for a moment, but everything worked out. Anyways, let me get up under here, and I'm gonna check the Earls and a few other things, and I don't know, I think I'm gonna go get me something to eat. Well, I popped the hood, gonna check the Earl and everything else, and well, all this whiteness all over the firewall and the breather and valve covers and all that. Well, that is antifreeze, radiator fluids, if you will. You might remember, I was afraid this hose was gonna rub this pulley. Well, guess what? It is. I just had it held back with wire ties, and the wire ties broke. I was afraid that might happen. Actually, I thought this plastic on this fan would break before the wire ties did, but I was wrong. We rubbed a good hole in it, and it's half empty. And I have sat in traffic today. I smelled a little antifreeze. I thought, maybe getting a little hot. Well, no, sir. I got a hole in my hose, and it ain't even offered to run hot. That's interesting. It's, like I said, it's half empty. The radiator is. The only thing I'm gonna do right now, get some duct tape, wrap it around that best I can, leave the cap off. When I take off in the morning, we're gonna have to find the first O'Reilly's I can find and see if I can't find. It's pretty much a straight hose. And change that out, and then I got to come up with a little bit better way to keep that off there. I don't really know how I'm gonna do it though. I don't. I'll have to think on that tonight. I'm fixing to order me some pizza because I'm hungry. I'm a growing boy. I gotta have my food. I'm wasting away to nothing. I'll ponder on this tonight, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Well, I decided to go ahead and fix it now instead of in the morning. And here's what I did. Well, you remember last power tour on the old Forte, I like to have lost my exhaust on one side, and I didn't have no baling wire. We stopped at a dollar store and got a bucket handle. That's what I tied my exhaust up with. The next morning I went to Lowe's and got baling wire. Well, here it is. I decided to just wrap it baling wire around the hose, pull it back, tie it off here. Hopefully nothing on the hood here hits it. I just now thought of that. I don't think it hit it. We'll try it out here in a minute. Anyway, I guess I can get my finger in there now. Got plenty of room. Tomorrow I will go ahead and get a hose, get that changed out. We'll fill her up with radiator fluids and hit the road. Hopefully we don't have no more troubles. Rise and shine cupcakes. It is day 3 of power tour, and instead of going to O'Reilly's and get a hose, we're gonna come in here to Ace Hardware and I'm gonna get me some stuff. I'll tell you about it here in just a minute. Have I ever told y'all about MLS? See this right here? That's hose clamps I need. There ain't none of them. I'm gonna get 4 of these and double them up if I have to. Anyway, let's get out of here and go fix this hose. Done with Ace Hardware. I stopped in here at the dollar store because I forgot my razor at the house, and I'm starting to get some stubble and I can't stand it. No, sir. Anyways, let's head back to the hotel. Gotta let this little feller cool off. We'll fix the hose and get on the road. Made it back to the hotel, and I've already got it fixed. It didn't take 3 minutes. I cut the hose in half. I got an 1.25 inch nipple at Ace Hardware. Slid that in and then put 2 hose clamps on it to hold it, and I got my wire back on to hold it up off that pulley. We're ready to go. I got her filled up with radiator fluids. I am now clean shaven. I cannot stand stubble. That's why I don't have a beard, mustache, goatee, anything. Anyways, let's get in this thing and hit the road. come through, I don't know if it was Hebron or maybe Lowell, Indiana, and we come to a slowdown. I thought they were working on the road. No, sir. There's a bunch of people sitting on the side of the road that was in somebody's yard. Well, they had done poured some water out on the road, and people were stopping and doing burnouts. I would have done one, but I'm afraid I'd tear the grass out or something up. I prefer to do the whole tour, so anyway, I thought that was pretty wild though. Indiana. Yep, there's a little rise in that field right there. What in the world? We are in somewhere, Indiana, and we're in a traffic jam. I think there's a red light up here. I ain't been in it 3 or 4 minutes, and she's already wanting to run a little bit warmer than yesterday. Yesterday it was just barely over 190. Now we're headed to about boiling point. If it don't get no hotter than that, we'll be all right. I thought I put plenty of radiator fluid in it, but maybe I didn't. I'll check it next time I stop. Well, the old pile of garbage made it to Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's about 2 o'clock, maybe a little later. I gotta go find where you punch your tickets. And I think I'm gonna head to the dyno and watch it for a little bit. Well, I went over to the dyno and wasn't a whole lot of major horsepower going on. I decided to sit on my hind end for a while, something I ain't done since I got here, in the shade, and just watch the cars come by. It was pretty nice. I think I'm gonna go buy me a chair at Walmart tonight and do that for the next couple of days. Just sit and watch. But anyway, I come across this old station wagon here. I like station wagons. I got a station wagon. We'll get to it eventually. That's pretty sharp though. Yep. I'm gonna just walk around and see some more cars. I've seen a couple of 71. I think there's one right there. Well, that's okay. I talked to that guy yesterday. It's a 71. But he's got an earlier grill. Let's go over here and look at it real quick. It's a wee bit nicer than mine. Yeah, mine looks a little rattier. Yeah, it ain't a bad looking truck though. No, sure ain't. Let's walk around and look at some more. That's a pretty neat looking little car right there. I reckon it's a T-bucket. I really don't know. Pretty sharp though. I love me a split bumper Camaro too. Man, that thing is gorgeous. Goodness. I passed this fella yesterday coming down the road going to wherever it was yesterday, Joliet, and he was riding down the highway almost that low. Yep. That's a pretty wild looking little truck. Well, I reckon it's time to leave. Where are we at? Fort Wayne, Indiana. Headed to Monroe, Michigan tomorrow. Of course, I'm gonna head on that way a little piece, find my hotel room. When I get there, of course, I'm gonna eat. I just checked my radiator fluid and it is low. That may be why yesterday, it was, you know, the radiator was only half full. It sat on just a little past 190. I don't know, fellas. Anyway, I'll find some antifreeze somewhere pretty soon. We'll fill her up. Hopefully that'll keep it a little cooler. I reckon I don't know. I might see y'all when we get to the hotel room. I might see you tomorrow. Anyways, see y'all later. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bacon once again. I made it to Sturgis, Michigan last night. Decided to stay here. It's pretty wild seeing it still daylight at 9 o'clock. Yep, it's usually dark at home. Anyways, let's pop the old hood, put some radiator fluids in it. I really don't like all this white. Makes it look really ugly. I'll have to clean it up when I get home. But anyways, it's probably down to right there anyway. It's 6 inches low. So let me put some of this in there. I got to find somewhere to eat because I'm a growing boy. Wasting away to nothing. Yep. Then we'll get on the road and head to, where we going? Monroe, Michigan. I'll see y'all in a little while. Look here, we're just barely over 190. Oh yeah. They always cool a little bit better when you got them full of the radiator fluids. Oh yeah. We are in the midst of the ultimate test for the cooling system on this old truck. Yes, sir. We've been sitting in traffic at least 45 minutes, I would say, and we will sit 10 to 15 minutes at a time and not move at all. Well, y'all look here. Would you just look at it? Oh yeah. It ain't moved from there, no sir. The cooling system on this truck, yeah, it's just fine and dandy. I am somewhere between Tipton and Tecumseh, Michigan. Google Maps says an hour and some change. We'll get there eventually. appears that we have arrived at Monroe, Michigan. Ooh, we're dragging too. I hear that muffler. Oh yeah, it's kicking up sand and gravel now. Let's raise her up just a wee bit. Well, we made it to Monroe, Michigan without any trouble. That's awesome. I'm not real sure where you go, so I'm gonna keep walking around until I find where to go, get my little cards punched. I bought me a chair yesterday at Walmart. We might sit somewhere and watch the cars go by. I identify as a 1974 Charger, Plan B. From Washington State. No way. Holy crap. Man, they drove a long way. Goodness. Well, I got my cards punched and we're up here at the Hot Rod stage. These cars show up at every place. Y'all know I love Roots Superchargers. Goodness, that thing is massive. But this is pretty wild too. A Plymouth, I think they called it a long ram. It's twin turbo. That's pretty neat right there. Yep, don't think I've ever seen that before. Anyways, I got plans for a big supercharger coming within the next year, hopefully. So y'all be looking for that. Y'all need to quit making fun of my cars, because this was right up here at the stage, so it must be somebody important. I don't know, but
I'm just kidding. No,
it's just as rough, if not rougher, than anything I've got. This is become unattached.
Definitely go check it out, Cody.
Oh, I see what's going on now. They put a shell of a car over top of a, I don't even know what this is, fellas. I don't know new cars, but yeah, that's what they've done. They put the shell on a new car. What in the world? Just got up here to the dyno. Let's see what this old Nova will do. That's some old school looking stuff right there. These springs and slapper bars. I think this is a list of the top 10 or 12 for today.
It's 83 Sierra is this GM.
What does it say? 838 horsepower, 649 torque. Yesterday, well actually, when was it? Day before yesterday, he had the list up for the whole week, and it was 611 was the highest for the week then, but
46.
I reckon the 838's got that beat out. $258, $395. I can guarantee you that little dyno right there has hurt a whole lot of feelings. Yeah, I ain't making fun of the guy or his car, but somebody asked him after he pulled up on the dyno, "What's your guess?" He said 400. It made 258. That's it'll humble you pretty quick. Yeah, I'm hoping next year. I think I told y'all before. I'm hoping next year to have something pretty hot put on the dyno. Yeah, just have to wait and see. I ain't sure how long I'm gonna stay here, cause there's a big old lake just a few miles from here. I don't know which one it is, one of them big ones. I would like to go over and just see it. Let me figure out how to get there. We might just ride on up there. So they got here today. The fella that owns this green truck, he looked at old Jolly Green. I recognize that truck. He said, "You got a YouTube channel?" I said, "Yeah, this in that garage." He said, "Yep, you just put floorboards in it, didn't you?" Well, he wanted me to sign his hood, so I just want to get it on video. Right there. Oh yeah. Right next to where Junkyard Digs and Buff's Garage, and I don't know them others. I can't read them. Build Season. I've heard of him. Yeah. Anyways, is it yours or his?
Mine.
It's yours.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll build it together.
Okay. Nice looking truck. Well, I've done all the things and saw all the stuff here at Monroe, Michigan, so I'm gonna head on out. This is the furthest north I've ever been. We're right on Lake Erie. I think we're pretty close to the Canadian border too. Well, Lake Erie is like 8 or 10 miles, so I think I'm gonna head on that way and see if there's some kind of beach. Just walk out there and see it and say I saw it. While I'm there, if there's somewhere to eat, I might grab a bite to eat, and then we'll head on to the next stop. Well, there've been changed plans. I looked at the map, in the little booklet that they give you when you first start a power tour. They got the route outlined, and well, it shows tomorrow's route going right by Lake Erie. I think it's on the south part of it. There's a few beaches there. I may pick one of them to stop at on the way. So I come on towards Norwalk, stopped in Toledo, Ohio, gonna stay the night. Right now we're fixing to get in the old pile of junk. I'm gonna find me a Dairy Queen or somewhere because I want some ice cream. Well, that was really delish. Sure was. I'm about to go into a diabetic coma. That was a brownie and, what was it? Brownie and Oreo cookie confection. I don't know, something like that. All I know, it was really, really sweet. I want to do something on this truck, the steering, and it may not be the steering box, but going down the road, it feels like it's got a lot more play in it. Well, let me turn the camera around. That's it right there, which that's a big steering wheel. But let's go out there and see if we can tighten that steering box up a little bit. It might help, it might not, I don't know. Well, if y'all can see, it's kind of getting dark outside, but right here where my wrench is, there's a nut, and then a set screw type deal, Allen head thingamabob there. Loosen that lock nut and then turn that set screw in just a wee bit, and it'll tighten up the gears. That may not be what it is. The end of the steering box, you can adjust it to. I ain't fooling with that. Let's just see what that'll do real quick. We might drive around the parking lot because you can get it too tight and it'll stick. You know, it's wore in the middle, and when you get over here on either end of the gear, it'll sort of stick. Let me adjust on it. We might ride around the parking lot and see how it does. Well, I tied her up a wee bit too much that first time. It would not return to center. Not return to sender, but return to center. Well, I loosened her back up. It's still maybe a little tight, but the slop is gone. Doing 75, you know, down a 4-lane road, she wants to wander a little bit because of that play. I think I've helped it out. We'll try it tomorrow, see how it does. If it's still a little too tight, well, I'll loosen it up some more. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. One last time. We're on the last leg of Hot Rod Power Tour 2025, headed to Norwalk, Ohio. Before we do that, though, there's another place I want to stop. I told y'all yesterday, I wanted to lay my eyes on Lake Erie. This is farthest north I've ever been. I want to see it. Well, I asked a couple of local guys last night here in the parking lot, and they said, no, there's really nowhere to see that. They said it's mostly shipyards around here. Well, they are incorrect. Yep. I got on the Googly Maps last night and found a spot that I think we can see it, and plus there's a whole lot more there to see. So let's go there first. It's about 15 minutes away. But before we do that, I'm hungry. Wasting away to nothing. I'm a growing boy, gotta have my food. I'm gonna go to McDonald's, give me something to eat, then we'll head on over there. We have arrived at Maumee Bay State Park here in, I think it's Oregon, Ohio. I might be mistaken about that, but I want to come over here and look at this map just to see where I'm at, because it's got several places you can go, and then there's a place to get to where you can see Lake Erie. They got a little museum and a pretty long boardwalk. Walk through the marshes, swamps, whatever you want to call them. Let me figure out where I'm at and where to go, and then we'll go to it. I consulted with the map, and there's several parking areas. This is the first one I come to, is why I stopped here. But yeah, I think we go on, where's the road? Going around that way, and I think we can get out there and see Lake Erie, but I thought I'd just walk around here for a minute and just see what we got. Got this little bridge right here. Let's take a look over the side. Little beach area right there. It's a wee bit too cool to be funning and sunning today. The sun ain't even out, so yeah. Look at this bird right here, though. He's just flying in the, staying still with the wind blowing. Huh. I wish he'd come up here a little closer. Anyway, I think, let's go back to the truck and we'll head on down this way. I don't know if this is part of the, it looks like it's part of it. They got a museum somewhere. I'd like to find it. There's a lot more cars over there, so let's go over there and see what we see. There it is, fellers. That's what I've been looking for. I'm laying my eyes on Lake Erie in Oregon, Ohio. Let's walk out here and see. It's just like the ocean. Sure is. Got waves coming in, constant breeze blowing. Can't see no land at all out through yonder. Oh, there's something right there in the middle of the screen. A building with big smokestacks and steam coming out. I'm assuming it's some kind of a steam electrical generating plant. I don't know, fellas. I don't live here. Anyways, let's walk down here to the beach. Yes, sir. It's just like being at the ocean. Got your waves coming in and out. I wonder, does the tide go in and out like it does at the ocean? If y'all live around here, let me know. Let's walk out on this big pile of rocks right here. They're all along through here. I'm assuming it's man-made. It sure looks like it anyways. Let's walk out on here and hopefully I don't fall in and drown. That wouldn't be good. Hey now, fix to get wet. Oh crap. There's some kind of concrete trail right here that ends right out there. They got all kind of trails here. Bunch of driftwood that's floated up all down through here. Well, I guess that sign means that's the end of the trail, beginning of the trail. I don't know, fellers. I'm not a trail rider. I just talked to a feller. He said the boardwalk is over yonder, other side of them buildings. That's I think the nature center, like a little museum. I actually think we need to go back out the way we came in. There's a road you can turn to the right. We'll go see if it is. We'll walk through that little nature center and then hopefully we can find that boardwalk because I really want to walk along it too. Well, we've got an issue. I can't turn the truck on. I can't start the truck. Neither key will work. Yep. One of them had been acting up, but if you pulled it out just a wee bit, it would turn on, but the other one's been doing fine. Now, neither one of them works, so that's good. Yep. I reckon I'm stuck at Lake Erie. Yep, sure am. Luckily, I brought me some spare wire, just a little piece, probably like 6 or 8 feet, just in case, you know, something happened Well, I ended up making 3 jumpers. This is the plug off the back of the ignition switch. 1 from the battery to ignition, 1 from the battery to power everything else. And then here's the starter. Will she fire up? Well, I can't get it in there. Hang on. Let me set y'all down. Listen, will it start? Oh yeah, well, it tried. Let me give her some gas. Yes, sir. Now if I can just keep these from falling off while I'm going down the road, we'll be a-okay. This has not deterred me from finding the boardwalk, by the way. Let's go see if we can find it. Well, we made it to the nature center, and I think the boardwalk is going to be through here too. We'll find out here in a minute. Let's walk in here real quick, see what they got in here. Well, here we are inside of it. Let's walk this way, see what we got in here. There's a turtle right up there. There's Lake Erie. Here we are, right? Where are we at? Yeah, Maumee State Park right there. This appears to be the lighthouse from somewhere around here, Toledo Harbor Lighthouse. That's a big old light right there. Here it is for comparison. Another, I was going to say fish tank, but there's a pretty good sized turtle in there. I thought it looked familiar. It's just a snapping turtle. Yep. Here's a better shot of him right here. Just snap your finger off in a heartbeat too. This looks like some kind of bird watching area. There's a bunch of binoculars and a little telescope there. Huh. Pretty neat. Maybe these are some of the birds. You might see a red-headed woodpecker, mourning dove, American goldfinch, and I can't read that. It's too far away. That's pretty neat though. It's just all the turtles that are around here. The otter, coon, mink, muskrat. Now we're in the area that I don't really care nothing about. Snakes. There's a fox snake. I don't see him. He must be hiding like they do. Yeah, I don't like snakes at all. Sure don't. Goodness, look at this thing slithering about. Ugh. That is a northern water snake. I do hate that they're trapped in these little cages though. What that is. Northern map turtle. Here he is right here. Hello little buddy. Sorry that you're stuck in that cage. He got some buddies, little fish down there. American bullfrog. There he is. Y'all probably can't see him hiding in that little rock. Eastern milk snake. I don't see him either. He must be hiding. Eastern box turtle. Garter snake. I don't see him either. Oh, there he is right there. Another garter snake. Where is he at? Oh, he's back yonder. Man, I don't like them. I know they ain't poisonous, but I just don't care for any kind of snakes at all. They're just some pond fish. All right, let's head out and see if we can find the boardwalk. Well, we found the boardwalk. This is what I've been looking for 30 minutes, and then I had to hot wire my truck. Let's walk a little ways out here. I don't know how far this goes. I just want to walk through here and see what it looks like. Pretty neat that you can actually walk out through this swampland now that they built this boardwalk. I did just a little bit of reading. Actually, I think I watched a video. They were talking about different things here at this state park. I believe they said they pump water over in here or somewhere, and it helps filter out a bunch of toxins and stuff, because a lot of people, you know, get their water from Lake Erie. Anyway, they pump it over in here, and this swamp will filter a lot of stuff out. Some birds carrying on right off in there. I wonder if there's some nests with some babies in it. They sure are hollering. Bunch of them blackbirds with like a red-orange patch on their wings. I don't know what that little fella is right there. He's a pretty good sized bird. I think we got a little lookout area right here. Look out on the lake. And it's pretty. It sure is. Well, it's starting to sprinkle rain, so I'm gonna head on back to the truck. But if you're ever in Oregon, Ohio, or anywhere close by, I highly recommend stopping by Maumee Bay State Park. Yeah, it's beautiful here. Lake behind me is just like the ocean sure is. And then this swamp area that you walk around on the boardwalk, do recommend. Anyways, let's hit the road. Remember them smokestacks we saw a little while ago across the lake? Well, there it is. It is ginormous too, let me tell you. Nuclear plant. That's sign just said it was a nuclear plant. Another 20 minutes, we should be there. Well, we have officially made it to Summit Motorsports Raceway Park. Motorsport, I don't know what it's called. Summit, let's see, what does that say? Summit Racing Equipment Motorsports Park. Yeah. That's where we're at. The old pile of junk, she's done pretty good, yeah. Last leg of power tour. As soon as I get up here and get my cards punched, then we will be official, then I'll go find wherever you gotta get your little plaques and whatnot. We'll walk around a little bit, see what's here. Not bad. I think it's a 396. That ain't bad at all. Y'all look here what I got on the hood. Oh yeah, we're official long haulers now. 2025. I am wore out, but the old truck's done pretty good. I think I'm fixing to head on home. According to Google, it's 7 hours and 51 minutes. Might as well add a minute to that. Let's get in the old thing and head back to Clarksville, Tennessee. Motorsports Park about 15 minutes ago. I was right here at this stop sign 15 minutes ago. And Google has sent me in a circle. What is the devil is going on? I'll get home sometime tonight, I don't know when. Well, we just come through that stop sign. Then I looked at my map and it's ridiculous. I turned around, I'm going back to the stop sign. I'm gonna go left. I should have went straight. Google is just, they're on drugs, that's all I think. I may switch to Waze here in a minute, but I don't trust Google anymore. Coming here, they sent me 4 or 5 miles out of the way. I had to turn around and come backtrack. Anyway, hopefully I'll make it home sometime tonight. traffic jam. Oh yeah. But I tell you what, the whole thing, man, 75, 80 mile an hour. It don't even know it. No, sir. I don't want to brag on it too much though, because shit, we still got quite a few miles to go, but hopefully we'll be okay. See y'all a little bit. Well, been about 200 miles. I'm just north of Cincinnati. Stopped to get gas. I didn't want to risk it, you know, only checked the mileage one time. Said we was getting 15 miles a gallon, but it's a 20 gallon tank. We should be able to go 300 miles, but I didn't want to risk it. I'll check it here in just a minute, and we'll see if it's still 15. Maybe it's better. I don't know. Would be nice if it was 20 or 30. Anyways, got about 300 more miles to go. I believe we'll make it tonight. Oh yeah. I think we're clear on rain. So we're running just a little bit of rain. I think we're clear on that. Let me fill up. We'll hit the road again. What's going on? Acts like we're running out of gas. I don't know if the fuel pump's going out or I've wiggled my wires on my hot wire down there on the switch, and yeah, I might have to pull over. What's funny about this is there's a guy, I'm actually headed back to Cincinnati instead of back to home. There was a guy over there on the side of the road in an old, looked like an old Galaxy of some kind maybe. I turned around and come back and check on him. I'd be daggum if I ain't done broke down. Let me see what I can figure out. Yeah, we're running out of fuel and I don't know why. Let me pull in here, see what I can figure out. Well, I'm afraid to shut it off. I'm afraid it might not start again. I don't know what's going on. I checked the voltage on the battery thinking, you know, maybe our charging system was quit and it's making it spit and sputter. No, sir. Putting out about 13.65 volts. Took the plug outside the carburetor where you set your fuel level, float level. It's where it should be. I don't know unless I intermittently lost power to the fuel pump, you know, because I got this hot wired. I don't know. It seems to be okay. Let me get it back on the road and see how it runs. If it does okay, well, I guess I'll head on back to the house. Seems to be running fine now. I guess that's what it was. Let me get back on the interstate, go up here to see if this fella needs help. Well, there he sits. I just talked to him. He said he lost the coil, ignition coil. But O'Reilly's is bringing him one. I asked him, did he need help? He said, no, sir. And I said, well, I'm going to handle him back to Clarksville. He's from Columbia, Tennessee, by the way. Anyways, let's hit the road. This whole thing here seems to be running good now, so I guess we just lost power to the fuel pump. Well, I was quite incorrect. Sure was. Just as soon as I took off from that other guy, it started spitting and sputtering, won't half run. Made it to the next exit, and well, I checked fuel. We're getting plenty of flow. Yep. I thought maybe ignition control module. I brought one with me. Here it is right here. It don't fit. Nope. I don't know what that's for. I really don't. That one in that distributor has a plug on either end. Well, this one has three. 1, 2, 3. Don't know what that fits. Sure don't. You can bet your hind end though, I'll have the right one by the time I get home. All I knew to do, this one here came with some dielectric grease, heat sink paste, whatever it was, to put on the back side of it. I smeared it on there. If that's the problem, to fix it. If the ignition control module is actually going out, you know, that ain't gonna fix it. I've never had an ignition control module on a HEI distributor act like this. They either work or they don't. When they don't work, you let them cool down and then they will work, but maybe these Chinese ones are a little bit different. I don't know. Let me fire it up and see what it does, and hopefully we can head to Clarksville, Tennessee. Well, that didn't fix it, no, so she's still cutting out, carrying on. Plus, it's dark, and now it's raining. That's great, yeah. Let's keep on going. It'll reveal itself eventually. I stopped in here in how do you say it? Elizabethton? I think it's how you say it. I don't know, fellas, I'm tired, and I'm drunk from fumes, so I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I think it's carb. It's not electrical or ignition. Nope. It's running a lot better. When it first started, it wouldn't go. It was knocking and pinging like it was running lean. Anyway, it's cruising along. You go to give it gas and it hesitates real bad. Then the pickup. It's carb. There's something going on with the carburetor. I don't know what. Pulled over on the side of the interstate, adjusted on it a little bit. And the side, you remember, needed 3 turns out. Well, I gave it another half turn and it idled up. I don't know what's going on with it. I ain't gonna worry about it. If it'll keep running as good as it has been for the last 75 miles, I'll be all right. We'll get home. We're about 150 miles home, from home. A little over 2 hours to get there. Now, about the fumes, I don't know what's going on. All week long, I have not smelled any exhaust fumes at all. Well, yesterday, when we took off from, I don't even remember now. Was it Monroe? No. Before Michigan. Anyway, whenever we took off Thursday morning, I started smelling exhaust fumes real bad. I thought it was the car in front of me. It's not. There's something happened. I don't know. But yeah, it's about to just make my eyes burn out of my head, and my nose is getting stopped up, and yeah, getting a little bit loopy from smelling the fumes. That's the main reason why I pulled over. Anyway, let's get back on the interstate and get this thing on. Well, there's another power tour in the books, and old Jolly Green Giant, he did pretty good, yep. Had a few minor issues, but yeah, we worked through them. Nothing major to worry about. We did smash the mufflers and exhaust all to pieces, but the mufflers are still on there. Well, matter of fact, let me just raise it up and I'll show you how smashed they are. Well, there it is. Yes, sir, they got smashed pretty good. That pipe right there took a good whack, sure did. This muffler here, I guess, hangs down more than this one. Could be because my fat self is sitting on this side. But I'm telling you, it has took a beating. Look at that right there. It's just smashed and rippled, and I think it's rattling now because, you know, it's broke loose inside there. This one here took a pretty good wallop, too. Sure did. I didn't realize that. The old Evil Energy mufflers, though, if they got hit, well, you can't tell. No, sir, because there ain't no dents on them. They are a little whop gumbled, but I would be too if I got hit doing 70 mile an hour on the interstate. There was one time coming home, well, the transitions from the bridge, or from the road to a bridge or overpass, and then back to the road, you know, they're terrible in just about every overpass. And it was bottoming out on them. Well, I come across one of them, and it felt like I hit solid frame. And, well, it sort of was, because, let me see if I can find it. Well, it's done rusted over now, but right here on the bottom of that A-arm, is this in? Yeah, it's even worse. What in the world? That was hitting the road. Cause I drop her on down a little bit when I'm cruising. Also, coming down the road where they're doing construction, you know, the orange barrels that they line the road with, they got a black rubber base. Well, one of those got out in the roadway, and I hit her doing about 70, 75, and I just knew it was going to take one of these mufflers off, and that's probably what happened either there or there. Probably that one there, yep. Well, that there's, she smashed pretty good, yep. But overall, pretty happy with the old piece of junk, considering, you know, it was a 4-week build, and I was working on it up till the night, you know, we left, yep. Also, we got us a power steering leak. This is Wooder. I've been driving this for the last 3 days, pretty much exclusively. Got caught in the rain yesterday, and that's what this Wooder's from over there too. But if you see the pink stuff, that's power steering fluid. It started leaking on the input shaft. We'll have to fix that sometime, but the whole thing did pretty good though. I'm pretty proud of it. You know, it did start running rough there on the way home that night. And, it started clearing up. It was still running a little rough, but like I said, I've been driving this for the last 3 days or so, and it's completely gone. Whatever it was, bad gas, fuel pump, regular, I don't know, carburetor, whatever it is, it's gone. You know, it'll reveal itself eventually because it'll just quit working. Then we'll fix it. Oh, yeah. If you would have told me 40 years ago when I was, 12, 13 years old, saw this sitting over there on the old Lockjaw farm, Daddy robbing parts off of it to put on Dude. If you'd have said 40 years from now, you're going to work yourself to death for 4 weeks straight, get that thing ready for power tour, take it all the way to Lake Erie and then back home, I'd have said, you're crazy, man. That's a pile of junk. Well, here we are. Yeah, like I said, it did pretty good. Fun trip. Beautiful country. Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio. Man, just the flat farmland. In case you haven't noticed from the video, I love seeing these little farms with the great big silos, big open cornfields, going through all these little small towns. That is USA, sure is. It's awesome to see it. You know, around here we got rolling hills, and I've even had people at Power Tour say, man, you got beautiful country there in Tennessee. To me, it's boring because I see it every day. When you get up there and see that flat farmland, man, that's beautiful. Anyways, it was a lot of fun. I got to meet several of y'all this year at each stop. Signed my first autograph ever. I guess I'm famous. I'm just kidding. I know, sir. I don't feel like that at all. I did sign a hood of a truck, too. That was pretty awesome. It was just, it was great meeting y'all. It was good to see the people that make this happen, because without y'all watching, I can't do this. No, sir, sure can't. So appreciate that from every one of y'all. What's next for old Sir Jolly? Well, the C10 Nationals are coming up October 3rd and 4th, I do believe. I would like to take him. It's in Nashville at the Nashville Super Speedway, just an hour's drive from here. Yeah, we might end up taking him. Got to do a little more work to him. We're going to redo the exhaust, get it up where we ain't dragging it everywhere, and a few other odd and end things. I'd like to find out what's going on with the rear end making that noise. So yeah, be looking for him in the coming months. Anyways, appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't mind, hit that like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. And until next time, go do something. Blur, blur.